She pointed right at my Harley and told me with a straight face that it belonged to her son now. And the kid standing there in his red hoodie smirked like he already owned it. A minute later, police sirens wailed down the block. Karen had really called the cops to steal my bike. What she didn't know was that I wasn't just some guy on a motorcycle. I had someone on speed dial who could end her little empire in seconds, the state attorney himself. It started like any other quiet afternoon. I was polishing my Harley, proud of that chrome, the kind of pride you can't fake because every bolt had been paid for with my own sweat. I live in Brookdale Heights, a decent enough neighborhood, though lately it felt less like home and more like a stage for one woman's obsession with power. Karen Miller. She had crowned herself president of some so-called homeowners association. Nobody voted for her. Nobody wanted her rules, but she printed notices, slapped fake fines on doors, and strutted around like she was judge, jury, and executioner of the whole street. Most neighbors just rolled over. I wasn't built that way. So when she marched up my driveway, son in tow, I thought maybe she'd come to complain about the sound of the engine. Instead, she jabbed her finger at the Harley like she was pointing at stolen goods. "That belongs here now. My son wants it. Hand over the keys." For a split second I laughed, thinking it had to be a bad joke. But her face, dead serious. And the kid tugged his hoodie strings, leaned forward, and sneered. "Yeah, it'll look better in our garage anyway." I told them flat out, "This is my Harley. Bought it, paid for it, registered it. It's not leaving my driveway." Karen narrowed her eyes, pulled out her phone like she was drawing a weapon, and hissed, "Fine. If you won't listen, the cops will. You're about to lose more than just this bike." Her son leaned close and whispered, where only I could hear, "You'll regret this. My mom always wins." Those words stung more than I wanted to admit. Maybe she did always win. People around here were too scared to push back. What if the cop believed her? What if the sight of that official-looking violation notice was enough to drag my Harley away on a tow truck? For a second, just a second, I wondered if I was the crazy one for fighting. Was I about to lose everything over principle? The sirens grew louder, and my heart sank. This was it. I felt like the ground was tilting, like maybe she'd finally beaten me. I thought about my neighbors who'd been too afraid to speak up. Was I about to join them, defeated, humiliated? Maybe I should just give up, hand over the keys, let it go. My chest tightened at the thought. I hated myself for even considering it. But then I looked at that bike gleaming in the sun, a symbol of everything I worked for. I thought about the years I served this country, the times I fought for freedom bigger than a patch of asphalt. And here was some petty tyrant trying to strip me of it with a forged stamp and a smug grin. That's when I snapped out of it. No, I wasn't going to fold. Not today. The cruiser rolled up, lights flashing. A young cop stepped out, mirrored shades on, not a wrinkle in his uniform. Karen launched into her performance like she'd rehearsed it for weeks. "Officer, arrest this man immediately. He stole my son's motorcycle and refuses to give it back." Her son stood behind her, smirking like he was about to ride off into the sunset. The officer turned to her, asked, "Ma'am, do you have proof this bike belongs to you?" Without hesitation, she shoved a folded paper at him, one of her fake HOA notices covered in official-looking stamps. "Right here. This proves he can't keep it. Rules say noisy motorcycles are community property. My son is the rightful owner." I'll admit, when the officer actually frowned and started circling my Harley, jotting things down, my stomach dropped. Ethan leaned toward me and whispered loud enough for me to hear, "Told you we'd win. You'll be walking to work now." I didn't yell. I didn't grab the paper. I just pulled out my phone and dialed one number. "Hey," I said casually, staring straight at Karen. "Yeah, it's me. They're here now. Can you send someone down?" The officer froze mid-scribble. Karen's smug smile faltered. "Who are you calling?" she demanded. I smirked. "Just the state attorney's office." The cop looked at me differently now. Karen barked, "He's bluffing. Don't listen to him. He's just some biker with no respect for the rules." But her voice cracked, and the doubt spread across her face. Moments later, a sleek black car rolled up, government plates flashing in the sun. Out stepped a man in a tailored suit, badge in hand. "Afternoon," he said coolly. "State attorney's office. We got a report of harassment and false claims being made here." Karen's eyes went wide. She scrambled for words, pointing at me. No, he's the criminal. He broke HOA rules. I was protecting the community." The attorney didn't even glance at her. He looked straight at me. This the one I nodded. He turned back to Karen, voice sharp as steel. "You've just committed fraud, attempted theft, and filed a false police report. Do you understand how serious this is?" Ethan's smirk melted into fear. "Mom, what's going on?" he whispered. Karen tried to fire back, but her words faltered. Neighbors were starting to appear on porches, peeking from behind curtains. The Queen's mask was slipping. The attorney pulled out county property records. According to these, he owns this land outright. In fact, he has more rights here than your so-called HOA, which doesn't even legally exist in this district. The officer blinked. "Wait, there's no HOA here." Karen froze. "That's a mistake. I formed a committee and we voted." The attorney cut her down flat. "A committee is not a homeowners association. What you've been doing, issuing fake violation notices, demanding fines, now trying to seize personal property, is fraud and impersonation of authority." Gasps rippled from the neighbors. Ethan muttered nervously, "Mom, this doesn't sound good." Karen, red-faced, grabbed the officer's arm and shrieked, "Why are you just standing there? Arrest him. If you don't, I'll call your chief myself." The cop yanked his arm free. "Ma'am, step back. Now." His tone was sharp, no patience left. But Karen wasn't done. She lunged toward my Harley, gripping the handlebars like she was about to drag it down the street herself. "If the law won't protect us, I'll impound this thing myself." The crowd gasped. I didn't move. The attorney lifted a small remote and clicked it. Suddenly, a screen lit up footage from a hidden camera near my Harley's headlight. Clear video of Karen shoving the fake notice, screaming at the cop grabbing the bike. The attorney showed it to the officer. Everything recorded. Every word, every threat. This isn't her word against his. This is evidence. Karen's face drained of color. You can't do that. You can't record me without permission." The attorney smiled coldly. "On private property. Actually, we can. And this footage is going straight into the case file," Ethan whispered. "Mom, we're screwed." For the first time, Karen's voice cracked into raw desperation. "No. This is my neighborhood. I control it." But her empire of lies was collapsing in front of everyone. The officer stepped forward, cuffs in hand. "Ma'am, you're under arrest for filing a false police report, attempted theft, and obstruction. Put your hands behind your back." Karen froze, eyes wild. You can't arrest me. I am the law here." She clawed at her son's arm, shrieking, Tell him we run this place." But Ethan just stared at the ground, pale and ashamed. Neighbors poured into the street phones, raised recording every second. Someone shouted, "About time." Another added, "She towed my truck for no reason." A woman yelled, "Or fined me for my kid's basketball hoop." The chorus grew louder, stronger. Karen's reign was over, and she knew it. She thrashed as the cuffs clicked shut. "This isn't over. I'll sue every one of you. I'll get this whole street condemned." But her words fell flat. Her son pulled his hood up, muttering, "This is a nightmare," before slipping away. The attorney raised his voice so everyone could hear. "There has never been a legitimate HOA here. This woman fabricated rules, forged documents, and extorted this community. Starting today, anyone who paid her fines can file for reimbursement, and she will face charges in court." The neighbors erupted in gasps, then cheers. For the first time in years, people smiled. I stood tall beside my Harley, meeting Karen's furious eyes as she was shoved into the cruiser. "No, Karen," I said calmly. "You ruined yourself. All I did was stand my ground." She screamed from the back seat, "You'll all regret this. You can't erase me." But the door slammed shut, silencing her. The patrol car pulled away, taillights fading into the dusk. The street felt lighter, freer, like a storm had finally passed. I looked at the Harley, still gleaming, still mine. She thought she could steal it. But what she really tried to take was freedom. And freedom isn't hers to give or take. The lesson is simple: bullies win only if you let them.